a lot of the things are kind of shots in the dark, and taking like smart shots in the dark are still gonna miss most of the time. So accepting that and choosing to continue shooting into the dark and fucking going for it.
Welcome to the Willpower Podcast.
All right, y'all. Let's get right into it. As you can see, if you're watching the video, I am a mess. I just got back from a run, and so I'm sweated through my shirt. Also, not just did I go for a run and sweat a bunch, but it is raining out, and it's been raining in Austin for like weeks now. So that's something. It's kind of crazy, and I live right by a creek, and that thing has been overflowing, like almost to the point where it's coming up on the path. I noticed that as I was running. Anyways, what do we got today? Some travel over the weekend. So kind of the same stuff there that I always talk about, kind of going off going off the script. So I've been on a kind of, God damn, AI is ruining me. I keep having this thing where I forget words. It's like I'm saying it and it's deep in my brain, but it's not being found. It's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, that has been happening more and more. I swear it's because I've been using AI too much. But I have been consciously putting forth the effort to eat healthier, sleep better, take care of my body, train in a way that's like optimizing for health rather than, and of course here I go, messing with my AI bots. Training in a way that's optimizing for health rather than anything else. Like in the past, it's been like, oh, I want to get fucking big. I want to get strong. Or like, oh, I want to run this, the ultra marathon obviously was a big one. I want to run the ultra. Or I want to be the best at jujitsu that I can be. I always have like those type of goals. And lately it's been like, okay, I'm focusing on other stuff. And so my number one health goal is just be as healthy as possible. Like get my body operating at the highest level it can be. Not for athletics, not for my ego, not for any of that. Just be as healthy as possible so that my body works the best that it can be. And totally went off the rails over the weekend. Not like off the rails, I wouldn't say, but just off the plan. Mostly because I couldn't eat this like bullshit dog food that I've been eating, which is like, quinoa, lentils, and eggs. That's hard to... The only way I could do that is if I like really planned ahead and I like cooked while I was there and just like didn't share in anything that other people were doing. Did not eat perfectly. And I noticed since I've come back, I've been eating poorly again. Just today I went to Whole Foods and I got pizza and cupcakes, which is absolutely insane. Like crazy behavior. I thought of that. I was eating there and I was just like, no, this is normal at first. And then I was like, this is fucking insane behavior. This is weird. So hopefully no one saw me doing that, but it happens. Again, like the weekend being off track. And then now I'm like slowly coming back on track, but still not quite there. So we'll get there. It'll happen. Caffeine. That's been my fucking downfall, man. I've been realizing more and more like this is a fucking real addiction that I'm fighting here. And it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. I got through my whole week last week. That was my plan. Like Monday through Friday, no caffeine. Saturday rolls around. I'm traveling. Like I said, I'm like, okay, special occasion. We can go one Saturday, one Sunday. I do that. Monday morning, I have to get up super early for my flight back to Austin. No plans to have caffeine. I'm like, okay, this is going to be a shitty day. Like, I'm just going to wake up early, be tired. That'll be that. It's all right. I'll get through it. And then I'm in the airport. See the energy drinks, like walking. Gotta like go to a different, like take a shuttle to where the special terminal is for my plane. And then there's like another shop there. Energy drink would be really nice. And I do it. I break. I'm like, "Oh, fuck it. I'm having an energy drink." And so I like completely changed the plan. The plan was like Monday through Friday, nothing. And completely, I just throw that out the window and have an energy drink. Then I'm on the plane. They're coming by with drinks, and I'm like, coffee would be really nice right now. So again, I fucking throw out the new plan, which was one energy drink and then nothing. And then I have the energy drink. And then I plan like, okay, I've had 2 things for today of caffeine. Probably plan for tomorrow, because otherwise tomorrow's going to suck if I go from 2 to 0. And I don't want to have like a shitty work day. I have stuff I want to get done. And so then I'm like, okay, I'll have 1 tomorrow. So I have 1 this morning. Now here we are. So that's just to say I'm fighting. And I've had the thought of like, maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe I just should just, not try to quit. Just let myself do it. Who cares that much? And I'm like, that's the fucking that's what I got to fight. I got to fight through that. I got to believe in myself, believe I can do it, accept that, I haven't done it yet. And also know that that doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to do it. And the only reason I wouldn't be able to do it is if I just accepted that, because it hasn't happened, because I've had these hiccups, that I won't be able to do it. So quitting caffeine, man, that's a motherfucker. That's a hard one. Yeah, I wish it was like as easy for me as alcohol was. Alcohol was fucking pretty simple. I've only wanted to drink like 3 times since then. But caffeine is just like so fucking ingrained that it's yeah, it's hard. So I feel for people who do have like an alcohol issue where it's every day, or any drug that they're using that is every day, that yes, it's rough. Yeah, I think it's also just a habit, and I got to figure out how to break that habit. Yeah. I'm trying to think about what else has been new for me. So definitely travel is the big one. One thing I did really well this time was sleeping well. I got really good sleep, and I just fucking like prioritized it. It was like by 11 p.m. I'm in bed. Every night I made it happen. There was one night we went to a show, and so that night I didn't. It was like midnight, but that was kind of out of my control. But when it was in my control, I made sure 11 p.m. And I'm like, my Aura sleep scores were fucking phenomenal, for like, with the caveat that I was traveling. I was in like the upper 80s, which is super solid. So yeah, I think that's a good like case study. Like, this time traveling, I slept really well. I was in a good mood most of the time. And those are probably related. And so this idea that like travel has to throw off everything, I don't think it's quite true. And it did throw off my eating, but I still trained and I still slept well. And that clearly showed. So that's really cool. Startup stuff. So this is probably like the biggest thing right now, is like, how do I get this app off the ground? I talked with someone at a different startup today, and just hearing like their numbers, I'm like, fuck, man, they're doing so well. They scaled to 15 million annual revenue in a year, ARR, annual recurring revenue, in 12 months. And I'm just like, damn, that's not what we did. We're not there. It hasn't been 12 months for us, to be fair. It still could happen, but just like, damn, that's cool. That's crazy. And so I am constantly reminding myself that is still something that we can do. And that's something I think as a founder is super important, is just to recognize like, it's just has to hit at some point. And it's only going to hit if you stay in the game. It's like playing a lottery, but one that actually is like reasonable, where you just keep playing it, and you know that every day you play it, there's a chance that you take it to the next level. And it's all about staying in the game and not being disheartened by the fact that it hasn't happened yet. Obviously, it's not a lottery because it's not completely luck. Of course not. There are Like if I just did nothing every day and said I was working, that wouldn't get me anywhere. It's all about what I'm actually doing. But a lot of the things are kind of shots in the dark, and taking like smart shots in the dark are still going to miss most of the time. So accepting that and choosing to continue shooting into the dark and fucking going for it. That's been cool. Something that we've been prioritizing or focusing on more is getting into the end user experience. So for anyone new listening to this or watching this, the app that I built that I'm talking about is called Grooves, and Grooves Engineered Wellness. And it's easy to like look at it from my perspective and say, okay, what does this app need? What would be awesome to have in the app? What do I want in the app? What do I want to use it for? And just like build on, just like keep on tacking on feature after feature after feature, and never actually considering what is this like for someone to use who's never used this before? Or even what's it like for someone to use who does use it, but just isn't the founder isn't the one who fucking came up with it and built it. And so me and my co-founder have been prioritizing that thought process and actually going into it. And so we are doing some user studies about the onboarding process, where we're having real people that we do not know, that we are paying to go through the onboarding and see what they think. Like, what is this? Do you understand what this means? What do you think this means? Is there anything that doesn't make sense? Anything that doesn't work? We had like a couple bugs come up that I kind of like had seen before, but I just kind of didn't think they were important, or just kind of pushed to the back burner. Like, this probably isn't happening all the time. And here I'm like, okay, a real person is doing this and seeing this bug, and that's not good. Like, we don't want that in our experience. And so seeing a real person do that, have that bug, have that issue come up, makes it so much more real. Makes it like, okay, yeah, we gotta fix this. So I'm like, this is a huge hack. Just the decision to do this kind of user feedback study type of thing. So huge. And even though I use Grooves every single day, I still think this is like a level change. This is like a huge difference. So entrepreneurs out there, if you are not using your own product, try and find a way that you can. If you are using it, try to find a way to watch other people use it. Either pay them or ask them if they're your friends, whatever it takes. Like, find a way, because it changes a lot of things. You'll see things, and you'll also understand the product differently. You'll see it as, okay, this is a real thing people are using. No longer is it numbers and like ideas and graphs and stuff. It's like fucking someone in front of you that's trying to use your thing. And it's either working or it's not. Or it's really working, or it's kind of working, but you get to actually see that. So I can't recommend that enough. I plan to build this into our process moving forward. Regular user UX kind of research in this way. Reba's playing with her ball by herself. She does this thing where she picks up, and Reba's the dog, she picks up her ball and then she kind of flings it. She throws it with her mouth. And then she'll go chase it, and it'll bounce around, and then she'll walk and trot over and then drop it again and let it bounce. And she just loves bouncing it. She loves. Hey girl, you got your ball, Reba? You got your ball? All right. So let me throw something at y'all. One of the first videos I want to do is I want to run an experiment, and I have been also already running this experiment, but I haven't looked at the results yet. But I'm using the Grooves app to see what is the difference between running in the morning and running in the evening. How does that actually affect me on a day-to-day basis? And I'm excited to see the results of this. I'm also doing one, or I'm going to do one, I haven't started this one yet, which is drinking a gallon of water every day. How does that, what does that fucking do? Does that actually help me? Does that not? What's the difference? I might also try a gallon versus, 3/4 gallon, or 3/4 gallon versus half gallon, and just see, because I think we hear stuff about how much to drink, but you never actually sit down and like figure it out for yourself and say, okay, which one works for me the best? So I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what I come back with. And if you want to try something similar, it's very simple. Just either get a spreadsheet out and do it, that way, or go to groups, create a habit. So that's one. Drinking water, doing running in the morning versus the evening. That's the other one. And then I have a whole other list, but we don't have to talk about that. Yeah, man, I'm fucking running out of things to talk about today. I don't know what's going on. I think I've just been kind of let's talk about this. I feel like I've gone into this a few times, but fucking focusing is one of my biggest challenges right now. And the biggest reason why is because with AI and with these like super cool tools that are out there now for coding, it's become easier, or at least it's become more, I would say it's easier. It's easier to multitask than I think ever before. And multitask in a way where it really feels like you're getting so much more done. Like it feels unnatural not to multitask. What I mean by that is if I have an AI agent open, it's a coding agent, and I tell it what I want it to do, it's going to take a few minutes. And I know that I could just open the other agent that I also already have the window open and tell it what to do. And then it's going, and I'm like, oh, there's this other one here. And it's going through a loop too. And so let me see what this one needs to do. Okay, let me tell it what to do. And suddenly I have like 4 different projects that I'm working on all at once. And I'm like bouncing between each one. And it seems in the moment it actually probably is faster to like, okay, this one's running. Let me just tell this one what to do. And then this one's running. Okay, let me tell this one what to do. For each of those actions, it appears that it is faster to just skip to the next one rather than wait for this one. But what I have found, or at least what I think I have found, is that it's actually suboptimal to do that, because I end up, like, the problems somehow end up taking much longer for the AI to finish when I work in this way, rather than when I work in the way where I have one agent, maybe a couple agents, but all on the same project, doing very specific things. And I can be there watching over and saying, like, staying on the same train of thought and not skipping over to the next one. Because I think I end up suboptimally prompting it, where I give it things that don't quite make sense, or that are not the best way to get to the solution, or lead it down a path that doesn't make sense, or I might even prompt it the wrong project or problem. I might forget which one was doing what, and I'm completely thrown off. Those kinds of things happen more versus one agent, one problem. Let's just get through this together. Like me and you, buddy, and just going down the line. It comes back with, okay, this is where we're at. I work with it. I figure out what else we need. We go to the next step. That seems to it seems like I can nail out the problem. Like it's a much more deterministic here, do this, we're done, check it off. But I also know in my brain, and this is probably an organization thing, but I feel like I have a million things I want to get done. And yeah, man, I'm realizing this now, that having all these agents open is just a reminder of all the things I have to get done. And so I'm like, okay, do this one, and I type it out, or I even whisper flow, like speak it out. And I see the next one, I go to that one. I'm like, oh yeah, this is this other thing we need to get done. Let me tell it what to do. I'm all over the place. And I think working in this way is directly reflected in my day-to-day mental state, my mental clarity, like my anxiety, how much I think I have going on, how many things are bursting into my bubble of consciousness and like making me think that there's something I need to be doing that hasn't been done. All those things kind of, yeah, they're not just there on the desktop. They're there in the brain. And yeah, today I went through and cleared out all the terminals that I had running, just kind of always. And I cleared them out. And I was like, okay, when I'm working on a project, I open a terminal for that project. And that's what I do. I work on that one. Yeah. If you're not an engineer or you don't work with AI or anything, this probably makes no sense or just isn't interesting. But if you do, this might actually hit home. So that's kind of where we're at. Trying to focus more, trying to figure out how to make myself, well, not make myself, but how to make it built in more, that I'm doing one thing at a time. I think the to-do list helps because then I can just go item by item rather than here's a million things all at once. I'm trying to remember all the different things I want to get done. That leads to this fucking like chaotic and crazy type of bunch of stuff all at once work. So that seems to be really, really helpful. Just doing one thing at a time. Honestly, like that, I feel like that's just the more I can stick to that, the better off I'm going to be. The more I can just do one thing at a time. Like even during this podcast, I like saw my terminal go off with a notification and I opened that and I'm like, oh, well, I could just like prompt the AI to do the next thing. But it's like, just do one thing at a time. It's not hurting. It's never going to be like, I'm not missing out because I didn't prompt it and it wasted time. It will have time. It'll be able to do all the things it needs to do. Yeah. So anyways, again, if you're not an engineer or using AI to code or to do your stuff, this doesn't make any sense. If it does, awesome. I think I'll call it there. We are having some new guests, or some guests on. Actually, a few guests that we have had on in the past are going to be returning. So I'm real excited for that. We also do have some new guests. I think next week. Next week's our big week where we have a number of people coming on. And then the week after that. So you can kind of be ready for some new people, some guests, right? Exciting. We'll have some guests coming on. I definitely want to get that going. The solo episodes have been fun, but I think there's a little bit more that we can dig out with the guests interwoven with the solos. It will just make everything fresher and everything more fun. So with that, shorter episode this week, but we did it. And yeah, I hope everyone's having a great week. Wednesday, almost through the week. Enjoy it, make it fun, make the most of it. And I'll see you all next week. Bye, everybody.